Hello there. Hello. Hey, there we go. Hello and welcome to the Voice from Behind podcast. It's just Evo now. Started the stream. The only thing is we kind of lost about 10 minutes of podcast at the start because I kind of forgot to click the record button. You'll get to hear me realizing this just after this bit that I'm talking about right now ends. But you didn't really miss much. You just missed the intro, and you've heard the intro by now. We just give movies to each other every week, and we discuss them. It's been a real weird couple of weeks because we've had technical difficulties every time, but that doesn't matter. All that matters is we missed about 10 minutes. You missed Eva ranting a bit about Alita Battle Angel, but you're going to get a bit of that while we basically catch up. So yeah, onward with the show, and thank you for listening to the Voices from Behind podcast. And now we're going to return to scheduled programming when I eventually realized that I needed to click the button to record. Okay, bye. Okay. So you saw Alita Battle Angel, yeah?
Yeah, I you have to watch it for you to understand it.
Also, you know what I just realized? I hadn't pressed record.
So
we just lost 12 minutes of us blabbering about stuff, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, so you write white actor and just in Google just go to images, see what you see.
Oh, this is a strong start. Okay, because this is the first thing people are gonna hear, so this is great. Sorry, people. I'm probably gonna intro, like, throw in a little bit before the recording starts, but we just started the podcast 12 minutes ago. However, I only just clicked record. I'm an idiot. But for those of you that what was missed was Evo talked about Alita Battle Angel and said it was really anime and really good, but it had some problems, but it had a really good twist. And I said we talked something about genders as well, and the genders happened, and then we talked about how Bulgarian people don't like the word.
Well, we were talking about Hastur, you know.
And we talked about True Detective. And we talked about Mahershala Ali, who is a friend of the podcast. Although he's not a friend of the podcast, we just like to think that he is because he's a cool guy.
He's an amazing guy. You know, so Rusty sees Hastur and doesn't go there because the whole point was that part of the people who were doing the whole child trafficking, I guess, were occult in their nature. So it's basically this whole occult thing that went high into the political circles. Season 2 was something completely fucking different. It was a small city that was, really bad spot and people.
In a weird murder mystery thing going on.
Yeah. And the third season starts off with another child trafficking one, same fucking format as the first one. I was like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
It's just, I don't want to see this. This shit's over. It's just try it and test it. It worked once. I don't want to see it again, because that was never the point of True Detective. Because you might as well just bring Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson through 5 seasons.
Yeah.
But that's not what they wanted. And
all right. Sorry, that's the best I can do. I can't really do much better than that.
Okay. So it's like, I don't know. That's why it's like exactly the same problem that I had with Stranger Things season 2.
See, I've not even seen season 1.
Season 1 was good. Season 1's fucking amazing. It's literally like a throwback to the good times of horror, where atmosphere and build-up was the point. Do you know what they did for season 2?
Was it like 11 Girls on an Adventure, from what I heard, or something like that?
No, that was 2 episodes, which was literally, I kid you not, those things were wait, how was it called? Oh yeah, filler.
Oh, filler. Oh,
it was
the
filler.
Naruto's, yeah.
Yeah, it was that bad, but the second season was like, you know what made the first season great and people actually loved it? Yeah, let's fuck that. Bring more monsters and more fake blood. That should keep things interesting. I was like, no, it doesn't. Do you not really understand why people liked it? Because it's not like the rest of it. Because it actually was interesting. It was actually entertaining.
Okay.
People actually cared and they were invested. They didn't know what the fuck was going on, and that keeps things interesting in a mystery. The second season was like, oh, so yeah, now we don't have one demogorgon, we have 11 of them. Good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
De-
Those are the
was
bad
it
people.
Demogorgon? Yeah.
I don't even give a shit at this point. I just
Just
fuck it.
don't care anymore.
I literally don't.
It's alright. It could be worse. That's my motto. It just could be worse. It can always be worse.
Right. And how was your week?
My week. Oh, I had a freaking weird week, man. Basically, I went to Manchester.
Yeah, and you didn't go.
I didn't because I went with Kate, so it was just she wanted to see the university and stuff, and we went to see that because she got into Manchester Uni for a master's.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
Yeah, so congrats to Kate, and we went to see that. You know, did the typical like walked around town, showed her like showed her Waterstones.
Obviously,
the one where we used to go. We didn't go in. I just pointed out.
There.
Went to Pho, the Vietnamese place, which was really good. Went to Plot. Went to Pho.
Yeah, I remember.
PHO. Not the Korean that we go to.
No.
Yeah.
I remember because the Korean was Bandi Boo.
Bandy Bowl, yeah.
Hey.
Then where did we go as well? We went to Ply. The day he texted me.
Who? What?
On the Saturday when he texted me.
Yeah.
I was in Ply. PLY.
The fuck's that?
It's a pizza place in the northern quarter of Manchester.
Ew.
And oh my goodness, I'd only been to that place once before, but my god, that place is fucking stellar. I'm not even kidding. Like, if you just get I know Vesco's not a big fan of pizza usually. He usually gets bigger pizzas, obviously. Ooh, excuse me, I burped today because of all the beer. But go to Ply.
Yeah.
The most money you'll pay for a pizza there is about £12.
See, let me stop you there.
Okay.
Me and Vesco, we went to that Caribbean place I told you about.
Oh, right.
I did show you a picture. It was a full chicken leg.
Okay.
With rice. For $6.50.
That's pretty good.
It tasted fucking amazing. It literally got me thinking. If I go to a restaurant or something like this,
you pay at least £15 or something. Yeah.
20. It was so fucking good. Holy shit.
That's Caribbean places though. They're supposed to be sort of modest and
I mean, it's not
value for money sort of thing.
I mean, sure, but the thing is, it's like there is more than that. I just went with the please give me that
give me that
good
chicken. Yeah, give me that
but
good
the thing is, it's like they have so much more. I think I saw barbecue wings and some other stuff. I was like, it's so fucking good, man. It's just the only bad thing about this is they were playing mumble rap the whole time. I was like, well, can't complain, man. It's just it comes with the territory. You know,
yeah, it makes sense.
You know, you're gonna listen to some shit. It's just, I wish it wasn't mumble. I wish it was something different. But fuck it.
But in any case, yeah, go to Ply. I had a pepperoni pizza with I added mushrooms and pesto to it.
Oh, nice.
And the pesto was in a bottle, so it was spread it on top.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how they make it? They make it in a proper like wood fire Neapolitan oven.
Mm-hmm.
So the fucker cooks in like 5 minutes, and it comes out all puffy and very light, and everything's like crispy. Well, it's crispy and puffy at the same time, and the cheese is oozing. Look at it's just honestly just go to Ply and have a pizza, because even the margarita, like, have anything they make, because it's all fresh and it's all made. I'm plugging them as hard as I can right now.
It's fine. We'll get that good ad revenue money.
Yeah, Ply, please sponsor me, Ply. I live in Glasgow, but just sponsor me and I'll come down personally. And after Ply, we went to Oxford Road. No, sorry, before Ply we went to Oxford Road.
Oxford, yeah.
Oxford, yeah. And I think it's called Johnny Roadhouse Music. It's the like music shop where they just sell musical instruments.
Yep, I think. Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
just at the start at Oxford Road. Like, let me double check how it's called. Johnny Roadhouse Music. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, the big one.
It's 123 Oxford Road. It's like 3 stories. Now Dawson's like on near Piccadilly. I'm talking the one where if you go down Oxford, it's past the Palace Hotel. You carry on. If people don't know Manchester, they're gonna be very confused. But you carry on going down. What is that? I'm hearing noises. You carry on going down Johnny Roadhouse. Sorry, you carry on going down Oxford Road. You go under like the underpass, where you go under like where the bridge is.
Yeah.
So you pass the train station as well and all that. Carry on going down, and you remember where we went to watch that pay-per-view in that cyber cafe?
Yep.
It's just before. It's the street. It's the main road just before that, and it's on the left.
All right, so it's closer to Manchester University.
Kinda, yeah. So it's called Johnny Roadhouse Music. It's 123 Oxford Road.
It's after Metropolitan. Yeah. I remember.
Every time I've gone into that shop, I've walked out with something.
What did you walk out this time?
First time I properly went in there, I walked out with an electroacoustic guitar. Second time I walked in, I walked out with just a 3/4 electric guitar, like a smaller one.
Okay.
This weekend I walked in, and I walked out with a guitar again.
It's pretty good.
I've been looking for like a Les Paul shape, like a Gibson shape, like just a single cut. And I walk in, and I see 5 of them. And they're all secondhand, which I'm not fussed about. And they're all like in a really like stupidly affordable range. And there's one specific one that looks exactly like the type I want. Just matte black, gold hardware, humbuckers, whatever. And I'm looking at that one, I'm going, okay, I like that one. Then I look at the one behind it, which is the one I ended up getting. The only part that's made out of wood on the whole thing is the neck.
Okay.
The body is made of acrylic. So it weighs a fucking ton, but you can see through it.
Okay.
It looks really, really, really cool. You know what? I will send you a picture. We can arrange that nice and easy. It's such a great for a visual medium, this. But I'll send you a picture of it while we're talking. In the meantime, yeah, that guitar, and it's one of the neck pickup is one of the chunkiest sounds I've ever heard in my life. And obviously it's secondhand, so it needs a bit of upkeep, and it needs some screws need tightening and stuff like that. And it probably needs to get a better amp, because all I've got is like a little headphone one. But it sounds so good, and I love it, and I'm playing it every day, and I'm still shit at guitar, but I love it. I think that's the most important bit. But apart from that, went to Manchester, saw the people from work, or where I used to work, and didn't really do much else, to be honest. I worked a lot this week. Like this morning, we didn't record last night because I finished late because we got new tills installed. Or the department store that we're in got new tools installed, so we had to like work with those and figure out how they work. And after
by pressing buttons, you make stuff appear on screen.
It's not even that. It's like things have to go through our system, then they have to go through their system, and because their system's just changed, it's all different, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass. It's just something you need to get used to, and it's just annoying.
Yeah. Fucking tech support not doing its job.
Yep.
Kappa!
No, tech support we're doing all right. It's just us. There we go. I've sent you the guitar to look at. But let me think what else. Yeah, I saw everybody from work. It was actually really nice to see everyone because I hadn't seen them in ages. And basically, I hadn't seen them since July, and it was really nice. Some people that never used to come out came out. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it wasn't because of me, but it was nice to see them.
It's something.
It's something, and it was really refreshing to be, just to speak to people and shout at people, and then shouting back, and it was honestly like a really, really good time. Yeah. Kate enjoyed it as well. She was very confused by all the racial slurs, but she was okay with it.
Well,
You know how it goes in that pub. It's a lot of racism.
well, then, man. To be fair, it's like it's just banter.
It's
Well,
just
what?
bands, yeah, top bands.
Yeah,
But
because there is no ill intentions behind it because we've
no,
known each other for such a long time, and
yeah,
if we continue talking to each other, means that probably is because most of us don't care as much.
yep. Over the week, I didn't really do much. I worked a lot. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning because I was covering in a different shop at like 6:45, so I had to get there and was there till 12, and it was super busy. But and then I got to work and I was dead pretty much until we finished. I didn't even, until I got home about what time is it now? 8:45. I want to say about like an hour and a half ago. I did not know where I was. That's how like dead I was. It was I got home at 7:10, I think, or something like that, and I was just staring into space, going, That's pretty much it. Also, speaking of, let's get to news. Actually, now that I think about it, because that's our week's done.
Right. Let me start.
But can I actually say one thing which has nothing to do with movies, but it made me laugh?
Yeah.
Bulgaria is in CNN News.
Yeah, because of the Bear Grylls stuff.
Right?
It wasn't that one that.
Yep. I'm going to basically, the headline story is. Ooh, excuse me, I burped again. It's Bear Grylls in hot water after boiling frog in Bulgaria.
I mean, jokes aside, this thing's a fucking meme. No joke, it's a meme.
Even great. It's fucking great. I was reading the article going, we're in the news, but not for doing something cool or anything like that. No, we're in the news for yelling at Bear Grylls, for doing things that are disrupting our natural reserves, which he really shouldn't have been doing now that I look at it. However,
I mean,
people knew he was shooting shows up in Rilla, although he can't really be doing that up in that mountain per se. But it's still funny to me that Bear Grylls is currently about to get fined by the Bulgarian government for defiling like national sort of natural property.
Yeah, and they're doing that on a daily basis. Yeah, I know. The memes are real. It's fucking meme to heaven. I memed the living shit out of it. I did.
Speaking of memes,
it's that bad.
Just saying that Bear Grylls is gonna get fined by the government. You know, obviously, you know the band Manowar, don't you?
The what? The band what?
Manowar.
Yeah. What about those pieces of shit?
They covered the Bulgarian national anthem at a concert once.
Yeah.
And they got that was really good because actually they did the whole thing in a metal cover. The guy sang it in Bulgarian, even though they're not even Bulgarian.
Yeah, he tried.
No, but he did a good. Considering like he's not Bulgarian, it's not his native language. He made an effort to actually learn the national anthem.
We appreciate it, kinda, except that one of the guitarists is a convicted pedophile now.
Oh well, could be worse. Apart from the government the government suing them because they played the national anthem. And the government said, this is copywritten. You're not allowed to play this. We're going to sue you. We're going to, not sue you, but we're going to fine you. And they said, fuck you. We're going to play it every time we're in Bulgaria.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not copyrighted. Secondly, they haven't played since then. Mostly because of other things that are outside
They have nothing to do with, but...
And maybe the fact that since they were coming twice a fucking year, everybody hates them. Like, legitimately, most people that listen to Manowar at this point are not even from Bulgaria. They just come in for the show.
Yep.
Because I struggle to think 5 people I know that actually listen to Manowar actively. I know
a few people, but they don't really listen to Manowar that much, if you know what I mean.
It's just, they're a shit band. They've always been a shit band.
I don't mind them.
It's just but the ego, man, the fucking ego is just Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there is the ego thing, but do say, sir, what news carry thee?
I will start with some very sudden and dark news. 5 days ago, Shaban Shaulic was killed in a car crash.
Who?
Shaban Shaulic. He just.
I'm trying to think who that is.
A very famous Serbian singer who's actually Bosnian.
Oh.
And today was his memorial.
Uh-huh.
it was just, you know, because I don't personally listen a lot to Shivan Shaulich, but he meant a lot to the people, because fuck it, the whole of Serbia, in Bulgaria, even almost every part of the Balkans, he was they paid tribute to him. This is how much he meant to people.
Shit.
And get this shit, he was in a car crash, and apparently the guy who killed him was a Turk.
Oh, come on.
I swear to God, I'm not.
We
making
talked
this shit
about
up.
Turks last week and about the prejudice against them and stuff, and now
No,
this.
wait, we didn't.
No, we did
We
because
didn't.
we talked about you in the hospital last week, didn't we? And
Oh no! But the thing is, like, the thing is, he's like the one who, and apparently he drove a stolen car because he's a thief. It's just,
oh no!
you
Oh,
can't
it's
make
getting
this shit
worse.
up. You can't make this shit up, man. I don't even know what the fuck you're supposed to do. It's like you're looking at it, going like, oh come on, this is just, oh god damn it. It's like,
For God's sake, why?
there is nothing positive. I mean, he's playing the I can't remember shit from the crash. It's not going through. There was the night in West Germany, because he's technically living in Germany, and apparently something happened in Germany.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
But
this is sad news. Sad.
Yeah,
this
this
the
is
saddest
sad
of
news. It's like when a Western person that's like semi-famous at this point, I don't give a shit. When Shabbat Shalish died, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is not fair. This is not fair.
This is not fair at all.
Yeah. The other part of the news. See, this is old news. This is really old news, but I think you appreciate it.
Go on.
Soon there is something going to come out. It's going to come out. It's gonna be episode 5 of Doom 1.
Wait, what?
Exactly. John fucking Romero sat down. He's currently sitting down, to be honest, and he's making a map pack for Doom.
George or Carmack?
No, it's Romero.
Romero's. I thought he gave up on video games when Daikatana bombed like hell.
But the thing is, it's like maybe more made.
Sorry, say that again, because you just turned into a fucking robot over here.
So did you?
You're still a robot. I'm very confused. The connection was absolutely fine literally 20 seconds ago. You're robot man. Oh, he has disconnected, folks. I think. Oh, is he back? Have you gone on your phone?
Yeah, because something happened. It's like I think that the signal with the microphone went bad.
Please delete Windows, please.
Yeah, fuck it. So yeah, many people are confused as to how Doom was made.
It was made by Carmack and Romero in their fucking garage.
No, it's made by 6 people, 7 which I think. One which was Tom Hale. Tom Hale was literally a month before the release of Doom, and they hired another guy who made the 3rd episode and most of the maps. See, John Romero did all of the 1st episode map.
Okay.
And they are the most memorable ones. Like
episode 1. Episode 1 is pretty great.
Yeah,
I need to I've got it all on Steam. I need to reinstall it. I really need to reinstall Doom.
You don't need to use Z Doom, because you can get some fucking amazing mods, and there's some fucking amazing mods.
What was it called? Final Doom or Brutal Doom? The one where you have where it's basically Doom 4, but it's in the original Doom engine.
You have Project Brutality, which is amazing, which I'm trying to get working, but can't fucking make it. But Brutal Doom and Project Brutality are 2 completely different.
No, but a lot of Brutal Doom was like the new Doom 2016.
Yeah,
a lot of that lifted stuff for Brutal Doom to make it.
I know. I played it. I mean, you literally telling a person that's been playing Doom for
ever since it's come out. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Evo played Doom. Guys, for those of you that don't know, Evo played Doom while he was giving birth. He came out with a mouse and keyboard and said, Doom! that was his first word.
Actually, you just needed a keyboard, dipshit. Do you remember?
And that's when
I know.
And that's when his beard started growing. and his hair started going away.
Yeah, I was being breastfed and was dodging mancubi shots in the meantime. I was like,
Yep. One eye on the boob to make sure you're breastfeeding properly. The other eye on the computer screen playing Doom.
Actually, I don't even need to watch the computer screen to dodge mancubi shots. They're fucking easy.
Yeah, you just strafe in any direction, and you're fine.
No, the correct term is left, right. That's the correct sequence. As far
Look at this Doom nerd over here. What a Doom nerd. What a nerd.
I mean, I can tell you a lot of things about the game and the engine that it works. The fact that
I'm pretty sure you can.
Are infinitely tall, so you can't jump over them, unlike some other games. So if there is an enemy below you when you're trying to jump, you're gonna fall down immediately because they're infinitely tall. Stuff like that. So okay, so
let's not get into we can talk about Doom and its logistics of the engine until tomorrow morning.
So Romero sat down and is currently making. It's called the Sigil, Doom Sigil.
Okay.
It's gonna be free. It's gonna be absolutely free.
Oh shit!
It's gonna be an IWAD, so he's not gonna charge money. You can pay for a special pack if you want to, and I'm really fucking considering it.
Okay.
Because it gets a big box with artwork by Christopher Lovell, 16 gigabyte, 3.5-inch floppy disk themed USB that includes the 3 megawatt data and extras. 2 disc jewel cases that include 3 megawatt data and the soundtrack by Lord Buckethead. Buckethead. And 2 stickers.
Buckethead's doing the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Shit, okay.
But the thing is, the pre-order has been for 14 days and we missed it. I would have loved to get this even for my father's birthday.
Sorry, I am looking. The Verge did an article on it, and I'm looking at the box, and it looks fucking great.
I know. It's just
$166 though.
It's just, but it's worth
it. You would have gotten John Romero's head on a spike as a statue.
No, you're taking the Beast Box, CG. That's
basically, in addition to releasing the files for free online, Romero is also releasing 2 physical versions of the mod, which include various collectible extras, as well as putting the mod itself into a USB stick that's made to look like a 3.5-inch floppy disk. With a $40 standard edition, you also get a CD containing an original song written by metal guitarist Buckethead. Okay, so it is Buckethead. Who agreed for several of his existing songs to be used for background music across the nine fucking levels. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a fucking disappointment because WODs are usually more than 9 levels. 9 levels
is about 12 to 15, depending, but...
No, that's the standard definition of a megawatt, because he said it was a megawatt. Megawatts are usually 12 to 15, and normal watt is 9, but he's calling it a megawatt, so that the people at the 2 week are faced with the question is how they should redefine megawatt and a watt.
Opting for the more expensive Beast Box for $166 gets you a couple of extra collectibles, including an art print, t-shirt, and a small pewter statue of John Romero's head on a spike. All versions of the mod require an original copy of Doom to run.
I'd love to get this for my father, but it's too late.
Well, this is going in the news docket straight away.
It's fucking amazing,
This
man.
is a movie podcast, but who gives a fuck? It's Doom.
I literally heard this, and something in my mind, in my heart, just skipped the beat. I was like, "Is it time? Oh my god!
It is
finally
time."
Because going back on the level designs, do you know the worst fucking episode of Doom 1? Die Flesh Consumed, aka fuck you.
AKA
literally
fuck you.
Literally fuck you. See, the first 3 levels I think were by American McGee, and fuck you American McGee for that one. It's like the first level of Die Flesh Consumed is a fucking nightmare. It has 22 HP pickups in the whole level. 22.
Is that a lot?
Guess
or
what?
Little. So I feel like that's less than it should be.
Yeah, because this is the first level. Start with 0 weapons, and you got 2 barons. Fun times.
Oh no.
Fun times.
No thanks.
And even if you pass it, the next one is even more of a fucking nightmare. Holy shit, the next one. You start off, and in front of you, but no, there were no monkey by the. I think 2 Kaku demons and hit scanners. And you're usually on like 10 HP. Like, kinda, if you finish it. And you're like, fuck. I tried the best I could get because I'm playing Ultra Violence.
I
Real,
tried
man.
so hard.
Without speedrunning it.
Yeah.
Best I got was 60 HP. I couldn't just get more of it. I just couldn't. And I had 0 ammo. And I was like, well, fuck. I'm fucked. What do I do? I know. I'm not gonna play it.
Good times.
Right. On the other piece of news, there is a new Mel Gibson movie coming out
Yes.
with Vince Vaughn.
Yes.
And it's made by the same guy. Yeah?
Yeah, they worked together on Hacksaw Ridge, didn't they?
I can't remember. But it's made by the same guy that did Bro in Cell Block 99, I think. That's last year's movie with Vince Vaughn.
Okay, it's called Dragged Across Concrete, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about it's both of them literally being cops that are out of the job because they're suspended because they roughed up and the media got caught of it, and they kind of turn the leaf to being gangsters to just make money.
Is it like serious, or is it like it's got 77 on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's got to be, and it's pretty cheap from what I can see.
Well, I think it's played for being serious.
Okay.
It's
a drama / thriller, and Michael Jai White's in it, and he's playing a guy called Biscuit.
There's also a couple of other people that were there that were actually pretty famous. I was surprised to see them, but I can't remember.
I'm looking at the cast right now. So we've got Jennifer Carpenter, Don Johnson, Udo Kier's in it.
Yeah, of course Udo Kier's in it. Udo
Kier is the shit, man. Yeah, Laurie Holden's in it as well. So
it's a pretty fucking solid cast out here.
That's a really good cast. Yeah, I'll get the trailer going. I'll put that in the docket as well. I do apologize. Sorry. I've gotten sounds coming. There we go. We're good. Go on.
I forgot there. Last week I watched Axiom, which is a horror movie that came out recently.
Okay.
And I watched the trailer a while ago. It has the cabin in the woods type of fever, but it's kind of misused in my opinion.
Okay, so it's self-aware but not self-aware?
No. It uses the same concept as Cabin in the Woods. Like,
okay.
You know how in the cabin, the stuff you picked determine the monster that's gonna hunt you?
Yeah.
Well, here is in a mountain, and there are 6 confirmed axioms, which basically transport you to an alternate place where there are different types of monsters.
Okay.
So they should get transported to one where they have distorted reality kind of stuff with some psychotic stuff. It's really interesting.
Okay.
I mean, the concept is interesting, the execution not as much.
Right. So.
And the main character was such a fucking cunt. Holy shit. And because she causes all her friends to die out of her selfishness and she's being gullible as fuck. And they kind of noticed that and they weren't too happy about it.
Right.
Also, which brings me back to Alita. Do you know what the thing I enjoyed most about the movie was?
What?
Alita herself.
Did she do well?
I mean, she was written actually quite fucking well.
Okay.
The most annoying thing was her love interest, Hugo, who was a fucking piece of shit. Holy crap.
Okay.
And mind you, I haven't seen the original anime because back when it was popular, in the early 2000s, when most of us discovered that anime was a thing. And even prior to that, we only had RTL 2. And we were watching Digimon.
Dude,
Monster Ranch.
And Monster Rancher. No, you're making me sad now thinking about that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get my German friends to bring me a complete DVD collection of the Digimon series. in the German dub because I can't fucking watch it in English. It's just not the same. It's not. Anyone that says it's the same, fuck you, pieces of shit. It's not. It will never be the same. But yeah, after we figured out that this shit could be, that there's way more, and we could watch way more, we got introduced to some really amazing shows, and some not so much. Some that were a letdown years after. Hint, hint, Bleach. Trust me. Yeah, I was there when the Bleach craze was on. It was like, it was good in the beginning. Come the fucking middle, and everybody knew it ran out of gas, and everybody started hitting it. So a couple years ago, I read the whole manga, and it was fucking worse than we expected.
Well, yeah, that's got other like connotations to it as well. It's not just that. It's the guy who wrote it pretty much got pushed so hard to like push the manga and churn it out as fast as possible. He kind of gave up at one point, so you can see the effort slowly getting worse and worse. There's a link to a video that explains that I think it's called the downfall of Bleach or something like that.
It's like
Eye-Patch Wolf. Yes, Eye-Patch Wolf is fucking great, by the way. It's like an hour or something, and he just explains about Bleach and how great it was at the start, and how the creator, whose name eludes me, got pushed so hard he fucking gave up on it.
Hite Kobo.
Yeah,
obviously. But it's also so much more complicated than this. So much more complicated.
Yep.
The thing is, it's like, because the manga industry is not fair at all. It's literally not fair.
It ain't.
And it's really difficult to work in there and stay relevant and stuff. But the thing that's the worst is that Hideko never actually had a vision on how to take the show, and it's pretty obvious. Because if we take that Hueku Mundo is the end of the manga itself and the end of the story, it still lacks a lot of things. And the more it progresses, it just becomes like Titeku just draws cool-looking characters with no fucking point. At some point, he literally drew a guy who's taken from Chinese mythology, and he's a kind of a god, but he's not. He's the original exorcist / ghost hunter.
Yeah.
Called Zhong Kui, and he because he's the gatekeeper of hell in Chinese mythology, and on the gatekeeper, he's there to exorcise evil spirits and bring them back to hell for the king of hell. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
And in Bleach, he was given the power of having all power over everything that's black, and this is a black and white man.
Oh no!
I just want you to think this, and he got beat in less than 2 chapters. I was like, I just want you to think about this for a second. What amount of bullshit this is? It's just like, this is not even jumping the shark. This is just stupid. This is just stupid.
Yep.
But it's just. Going back to it. So I didn't read the manga. I haven't watched the anime. I tried to read the manga, but I think I have the continuation of the original story. I tried.
Yep.
But it's just not for me. It's just one of those things that just not for me. Right. Going back to the news.
Yes.
Also, the creators. Do you know ABCs of Death? It's 2 movies.
Yeah.
ABC of Death.
Yeah.
Apparently, some of the creators, because it's not exact. The producers actually are creating a new anthology series called "The Field Guide to Evil."
Okay.
It's it's really weird because it's not. I watched it. I remember watching the ABC of Death one. It was an interesting project, although
The
deeply fucking
Field Guide
flawed.
to Evil.
Yeah.
That's
Field Guide to Evil.
Oh, there's a trailer for the 2019 one. Although
Yeah.
I'm very confused because there's a 2018 one already.
Oh, I don't know, man.
This global anthology of vape narratives explores dark folklore through a series of myths and tales that have captivated, galvanized, and frightened communities throughout history. Initial release, 11th of March 2018. Quite a few directors, quite a few producers. Okay, there's a 2019 trailer. I will mute that just to make sure it's... Yeah, it's from the creators of the ABCs of Death. coming Q1 2019.
Well, not the creators, that the producers, because the creators were literally 26 people that were given different letters of the alphabet.
No. I'm saying that it just says the creators in the trailer itself. So the trailer is a lady. I've got this on mute, obviously, and she is at a riverside. And she just smacked herself with a rock. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna add this to the docket as well. Throw it in there. That it looks interesting. It's got a load of fucking. Oh, that's a lot of. I like that. You know the accolades when they show in movies, like from Sundance and everything like that.
Yeah.
In the trailer, the accolades when they finally all show up are an inverted cross.
Of course they are, because edgy boys.
Yeah, so that's pretty great. That's pretty great. Yeah, 8 Tales of Dark Folklore. That's some imagery right there.
I mean, it's the thing is, it's like, because it's 8 stories, you can't really discern anything from the trailer. So I'm gonna keep my
keep your expectations low, or just maintain expectations. I think that's the most ideal thing we can say, because with a lot of these things, when you see a trailer like this and you see snippets from every story, and it's just the scary shit, and there's not a lot of everything else, I'm pretty sure that it was the same with the ABCs as well. You kind of saw the scary bits and went, this is just going to be a bunch of jump scares, but in reality, it's fucking great.
Well, no, it's like, to review a movie like ABCs of Death, you have to look at every fucking segment on its own, because they're different. And most of them were really bad, like legit bad. But there was some that were actually good. I remember that this was this POV on the. By the way, I think the segment was called Stakes.
Oh no!
I'm not even kidding. And it was a POV of a vampire being hunted by people, and it ends up with the vampire being staked.
Okay.
I think it. I can't remember, because this was years ago. So, I could remember wrong.
Right, this beer has gone right through me, so I'm gonna go pee. You carry on. I will give you something to talk about, considering that we just. I've got 3 dockets here on the news, 3 things on the news here that I have open. Pick a number. What?
Do you know that Metro Exodus came out?
I know it did, yes.
And you know that's fucking amazing. And you know what the funniest thing is?
What?
Now that Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I think it's gonna come out. It's gonna have a real hard time to overtop the graphics of Metro Exodus, because they look fucking amazing.
It's Metro. They've always been great looking games.
Kinda, but this one just went the fucking above and beyond, man. Just look at it.
Considering they had to like recover from bankruptcy. Right. Pick a number between 1 and 3, because I really need to go piss.
Let's go with 1.
1. Okay, Godzilla vs. Kong. Coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out in March 2020. It's been moved to March 2020. It should have come out later. So you talk about that. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm running away now.
Okay. So I watched the trailer for Kong vs. Godzilla a while ago. It was pretty obvious it's gonna come out since Skull Island, mostly because the movie was finished with literally showing us Mothra, Ghidorah, and the other ones coming out, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna make the Monster Universe a thing, and they're bringing it finally back. And I really liked Skull Island. It was pretty good, pretty well made. Although it again focused too much on people, and I fucking hope that now that we have Godzilla vs. Kong, it won't be focused on people. Just saying, because I'm fucking tired. I don't want to see another Bumblebee shitstorm. But because, but you never know. Because to be fair, how would you even build a movie that's only about monsters and with 0 interactions when they can't talk? I mean, except having them fight for literally half an hour and a half on which I'm all up for. But the problem with that is it will be so heavily effect needed. It's probably gonna go over budget. I'm actually interested to see who is gonna play in the movie. Are they gonna retain the same cast from at least Skull Island, because they did a really good job, and it was pretty it was hinted that they would be the ones going back. Let me just check.
Returned.
Right, so I was saying how I watched the end of Skull Island, and it was mentioned
that he's growing, but he's big
No.
now, but he's getting bigger.
No, at the end that they're gonna bring the Monster Universe because the bonus scene literally showed us Mothra and Ghidorah and the other one.
Yeah.
So you knew they were trying to make it happen. And I was just wondering if how they would make the movie, if it's gonna be an hour and a half of monsters fighting, which I'm totally up for, or they're gonna go at this point they call it the Bumblebee effect of not having them fight at all and just people running and talking most of the time. Apparently, Alexander Skarsgård's gonna be in it.
Yep.
Why though? Because they literally mentioned, it was literally implied in Kong in Skull Island that they would keep the cast from it because they were inducted in the Monster Squad. Let's go with that one.
Don't know about that.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention in Alita, there's it's the kid. It's the black kid that plays in Bumblebee.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a big role, but okay. There's a lot of death in Alita. A lot of it. I'm happy with it. It was so much death, but since it's a blue blood, it's okay because murder is not murder unless it's in red.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange because the MDP page still says it's gonna come out on the 22nd of May. I don't know why they pushed it. It's gonna come out in May though.
May Avengers.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why they're gonna move Conquer. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Avengers.
Right.
So you've spoken about Godzilla, yes?
Yeah. I mean, I saw the trailer. It looks fine, but until we see the last one, the final product, can't be really hoping for much.
Yeah, I get it. I get that. Yeah. What else was I gonna say? Other news: LeBron James confirms that Space Jam 2 will start filming this summer.
Fuck.
Yeah, we're getting Space Jam 2, boys.
Well,
Space Jam
please
2.
don't. I don't want it.
One's a bit of a guilty pleasure for me, but two we're getting two.
It's like you remember now that you mentioned people were the defenders of Aladdin and Will Smith playing it. Do you know what the main thing is?
What?
Like, this is a kids movie. It's meant for kids. Yeah, but then you're thinking, literally, no kids will go see that without their parents because the parents will make them go and see it. They won't be lining up for it. It's basically us people that grew up with fucking Aladdin, with the Disney version, the animated version, would go and see Aladdin, not the kids. And we don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want a terrifying Will Smith, but here we are.
I mean, I don't care, but it's just annoying. Oh, anything else?
Is that we have another one? You've seen Life of Brian, haven't you?
Life of Brian. I can't remember.
Monty Python's Life of Brian. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's heading back into theaters, that film, because it's 40 this year.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's planning a 400 screen release on April 18th. Oh, that's my dad's birthday, and will span the UK and US as well as territories and regions including Australia, Canada, Germany, and Scandinavia. 1979 that film came out, and it's still topical today. Thank you, Monty Python, for being fucking legends.
Although it came out in the US in August, in the UK in November. So they're still not making 40. Details, they matter. Right, so enough of me being a dick.
speaking of you being a dick, you gave me a film last week.
Yes, I did.
And it was sort of a sweet revenge because I gave you a really shit film the week before. The most amazing Fateful Findings by Neil Breen. Speaking of which, I showed this to Hannah at work. I showed her the final scene. You know, where everybody's like, "I resign as senator of the bank."
Yes. Well, how did she react?
And she couldn't. It was 6 minutes. Within minute and a half, she was like, "I can't watch this." I was like, "Good reaction. That's the reaction. That's the reaction I wanted. We're all right." Speaking of news, I forgot to. Chris sent me a thing. Chris from work.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm going to share you this video. Send it to you on the Facebook. Okay, just mute it. You don't need the sound for it. It's about two conjoined twins. Okay.
Give me a second. Yeah.
Two guys. These guys are 57. They have their own brains, their own stomachs, their own poops, their own legs, and their own arms. However, I'm getting real close to the mic to say this. They share a penis. And the story is that one of them is suing the other for basically sexual harassment because they share a penis and he doesn't want his brother touching him. Because his brother wants to jack off, but the other one doesn't. So he's like, "No, you're touching me because we have the same penis. So you're essentially jacking me off. This is sexual harassment." So I thought this story was fucking stupid because they're 57 and they should have figured that out by now.
Yeah, but you know, now that you mention it, I remember seeing in my news feed, because my news feed's a fucking hilarious place.
Mine is as well.
Either people sharing those stories about people who adopt some cat or dog that's so fucking mangled and crippled.
And then they nursed it back to health with the power of love.
No. I mean, literally, they're just like, they're fucking deformed. They are literally deformed. They're like, "Oh, I never get moved. But when I walked in the shit, I thought she just moved me. I had to take her. She deserved all the love and care." I was like, "Bitch, you adopted the cat. Don't make this video about you." Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, "Oh, it moved you. It changed you." Oh, bitch, come on. Fucking, please.
Yeah.
But... And the other part is people sharing the story about the guy in Britain that got abused by his girlfriend. He got stabbed, hit by a wooden plank. It's like he had scars. She used to pour water on him, some crazy stuff. Just
okay.
I was like,
this is confusing, but okay.
I know, right? It's like, and it got traction. It went to the BBC News. It was like, holy shit. I mean, and he was like, "I was so afraid that you would come and kill me."
Dude.
You know? No, she would have. I mean, if half the shit he says is true, she probably would have gone and killed him. I was like, but this police officer by the name of, I don't know the certain name, it was like, he came and asked me, "Mate, you okay? Because we see that those stab wounds are not the self-inflicted. We can tell that they're defense wounds, but we can't do anything unless you do something about it." I was like,
Christ. Anyway, you gave me a film last week, yes? I will play some sound effects now from my phone to explain what this film is. 1 second. Let's see if this works. Nope. It's... That's one. Okay.
yeah.
There's the other. Yep. Let's see. I'm basically just looking for royalty-free sound effects from Vine. Yep. That you could say that was part of that film, yeah. Yeah, that was maybe, yeah. Yeah, nope, definitely. Oh.
Stop delaying it and start talking. Stop avoiding
Anyway,
it. Stop avoiding it.
Anyway, the movie. Oops, sorry. This is still going. The fucking movie is called Stakes.
Indeed it is.
And it's it's a vampire movie from 2001.
2003 though. 2002. Why the fuck did they say 2003? Last time. Whatever. See?
Yep.
The good times.
Oh, that was the perfect sound. Oh, yes.
Stop avoiding it. You have to talk about it. You have to talk about it.
I am talking about it. Shut up. So at first, when I saw the poster for this film when you sent it to me last week, and you said, as I said to you the week before, don't research it, don't look at the reviews, and I didn't. Mind you, I did not. I watched this film over like 5 days because I never got the chance to sit down and watch the whole thing in one go. And I'm kind of glad I did because I got different impressions about every 10 minutes or so of that film because it's only like a minute, like an hour and 20 minutes long. Exactly. So it's a movie about vampires from a different dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And it has some of the worst everything
but Alessa
that I have ever seen in a film. Ever. I'm talking visual effects. I'm talking lighting. I'm talking... Sorry, I bumped my microphone. I'm talking direction. I'm talking camera movement. I'm talking action. I'm talking acting. I'm talking writing and direct. Like, this is one of the worst films I have ever seen in my life, and it looks like something we would make back at university even before that. Because you remember the type of shitty videos we made.
Yeah, I do.
Those had more context and more fucking value than this piece of shit film. This film. Oh, I'm dying inside thinking about it. But every time I remember bits of it, I cannot help but smile.
It's so glorious.
Because this film kind of brought joy into my life for a bit. I was in stitches within minute 5. So,
but
Alyssa, Jake, thank you for this, Jake.
What are we going to do?
The premise basically is 3 vampires go through a Stargate to three OG vampires, like pure blood vampires, go through a Stargate and go in a mirror dimension where vampires don't exist, and then they start going around infecting other people.
But how did they find out about it?
I'll get to that. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. It's a very deep, complicated story, okay? So they proceed to go through the Stargate. Then they go around infecting people. And the movie opens up with them killing a pair of muggers in like a street somewhere. So we pan from stock footage of a city, then we pan down to like a shitty street. And these guys are mugging a fat man. And then the vampires come out of nowhere, out of like some sort of black hole. And I have names for them, by the way. I named them myself because I completely forgot their names.
Let me just cut you in for a second. Apparently this is just an... apparently the Fast and the Furious director, Rob Cohen, his daughter is accusing him of sexual assault.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ.
Can we go like a week without somebody in Hollywood getting accused of sexual assault?
I mean...
Can that happen?
No. The thing is, no, because we all know that this shit happens. We don't, because this shit used to.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, it's like, it used to happen. It's like, there is no joke about it. It did happen. And probably it will happen. But at this point, it's like, I mean, his daughter... How?
He did.
By the way, his daughter his daughter. And by the way, currently she's 32 years old. Don't know. This is like I have to read upon about it, but
Yeah, we can dwell on that later. But, so the 3 vampires come through the Stargate. I have names for these. I call
Okay.
there were 2 girls and a guy. I call the guy Love Handles. Because he has love handles. They've put him in a really tight shirt. And clearly he worked out at some point in his life, but right now he is a bit pudgy, the poor boy.
you can call him Ricardo because he's a god man.
No, he is love handles. Then we have the other lady who I called Tits, because I got to see her. I got to see her tits in this film.
I mean the curly black hair.
Yeah.
Get this shit. Let me. Do you know what her name is?
What?
Sin Deville, and Sin is spelled with a Y.
Oh, don't tell me she's a porn actress or something.
No, she's not.
She looks like one. A lot of parts of this film look like cheap porno, but it's not a cheap porno because cheap pornos have better acting.
I mean, think about it. Her name is Sin with a Y, Deville, and Deville is one word, but the D is with a capital D and capital V.
Oh,
And she doesn't do porn. I was like, I saw her name. I was like, oh, she must do porn. And she was like, there is no porn. Well, because even in IMDb, the porn actresses have their fucking pages filled with the feature films they did. So I was like, wait a minute. None of those are porn movies. What the fuck is this shit? So I actually went digging. And I was like, she actually didn't do any type of porn. I was like, what?
Okay, anyway, so those 3, the third one I'll just call the Queen because I never figured out what her point was.
Alyssa.
So Love Handles, the Queen, and Tits come through
Tits
the
McGee.
portal. No, just Tits.
Tits McGee.
Tits McGee, okay, fine. They come through the portal, and then they kill everybody in that scene, and the scene ends. And that is the introduction to the film, and I'm just sat there, scratching my fucking head going, this is going to be this entire film, isn't it? We're going to get a scene of nothing. Then we're going to get a scene of vampires doing something. And then we're going to get a scene of nothing again, aren't we? And guess what? I was fucking right. So the second... What?
Apparently, the actress that plays Sin Deville is confirmed dead. What?
Oh, no.
Just... Yeah, that kind of ruins.
That's a bit of a shame. I kind of... anyway.
Well, she's done some more movies, but just,
So the scene after, we get an introduction to our, I guess, protagonists, who are the people from the other dimension where the vampires exist. And these 3, I will call Specs, because he's the nerd.
Oh, do you know what his name is?
Stephen King in real life. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, right? You can make this shit up.
Yep. So, Specs, Curly Lady, and the worst actor on the planet.
The best actor.
The worst.
Mind your language, boy.
The guy who plays the Reverend. The guy who plays the Reverend. The father, the priest, whatever he is. The guy who wears the fucking beret with the fucking Jesus Christ crucifix on it. The guy with the old man with the man tits, okay? He is honestly, I thought Neil Breen was bad. I thought Tommy Wiseau was bad. But this fucking guy is the worst actor I have ever seen. Every line he fucking delivers. Nothing. No emotion. He's just a robot. He's just a robot man. And he's there going, oh no. This is literally one of his first lines. The vampires have come through. They have How did they know we were here? We hid ourselves very well. How did they follow us? Quickly, get through the portal.
No No one knew. How did they find? No one
And then
knew
Specs, the nerd, goes, "Yes, we must go through the portal. I have it ready. No way. How did they? No, we were here." And the fucking lady as well, who goes from strong, independent black lady, or mixed race lady, I should say, because she's not exactly black. Then she's really pretty. She's really pretty, by the way. But she goes from that. Then she goes to her character doesn't have any. I mean, nobody has character in this film, but her character goes from independent black lady to sassy lady to damsel in distress, back to sassy lady, back to independent lady, to dead. And that's her entire character arc. Because she apart from the dead part, obviously, she fluctuates between those moods all the time, even within the same scene. And it doesn't make fucking sense. So in any case, so then they go, "Oh no, the vampires have found us in our base. We must go through the Stargate because it has so very little juice left, and it's enough for us to transport us through the Stargate to escape this hellhole." So they jump through the Stargate and they go get at the scene of the crime where the vampires just were, and they killed those people. And it's some of the worst special effects I've ever seen because it's just photoshopped images of the bodies being ripped apart or having been ripped apart. And then every time we cut to a reaction, we don't see the body there because clearly it was done digitally beforehand. And we see again the father, the reverend, doing the most amazing acting by pretty much looking at the bodies going, and you can literally hear the hamster in his fucking head running in place, trying to figure out what emotion he's supposed to portray.
Such a great.
And we get some of the worst. You heard the stingers I played, like the royalty-free stingers. That is every sound effect of this film. Anytime there's tension, you just go. That is it. There's no other stingers in this film. That's just every time. And you know exactly which one I'm talking about. For those that listen, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. So then they go, "Father, what has happened here? Clearly the purebloods have been here with the Queen. Please, Father, you're the father here. You investigate." And he goes, "I will go stand next to the bodies. I hear the police coming. Maybe they will help." So then we get introduced to the main character of the film, who I will call Discount Mel Gibson.
Obviously.
Because he's obviously bright-eyed. He's a buff guy. He's got the mullet going like Mel Gibson from like early Lethal Weapon days, even though this film's from like 2002.
Let me remind you something. This was not the worst movie I was thinking about giving you to watch.
Trust me, I have something. I have two lined up for next week, and it weighs on you having not. If you've seen one of them, you'll watch the other one. But
and the thing is, one of which was Hamlet, Vampire Killer. I want that one to sink in.
That's not a bad film, though. I know it's a shitty B. Like this one is a shitty B movie through and through, but it's clear that people made an effort to sort of make it. Well, a lot of B movies, there's not a lot of effort going into them. This one,
trust me,
you look at it and you go, okay, clearly there's some thought that's been put through this, but it's clearly not been a lot of thought, has there? Fucking. Well. So they get to the crime scene, yeah, and the Reverend is just stood there amongst the bodies, and the police arrive and they go, "Hey, you, what are you doing here?" He goes, I only came through this street a minute ago, and I saw the bodies. What happened here?" And the police go, "We don't fucking know. We just came here." "Oh, this is a shame. I have to go now." And at this point, I'm there scratching my head going, so the police aren't even going to question this fucker, are they? "Okay, you be on your way, Father." Are you fucking serious?
No, did it?
They're like, "How did you get here?" "I was only walking past on the street and saw the bodies. I came here because I thought people might need help."
Which church are you from? "Oh, St. Michael's." "That's on the west side of town. What are you doing here?"
I was only here visiting a friend." So anyway, we get introduced to Discount Mel Gibson and his partner, who is clearly there to just die.
Glover?
Well, no, he's
Danny
lying.
Glover? Well, yeah.
He was literally there constantly calling him partner, and saying, "Hey, you best make sure you come back for work tomorrow because I know you like the fucking. You have to come to work. Yeah, we got to go to court." And then they're in this bar, and the curly lady goes, "I'm gonna go seduce Mel Gibson, and I'm gonna get him to join us because we need his help. Because clearly, wait, why do we need this person's? Why did this decide to go with him? Why did they decide to go? This cop seems cool. He'll help us. This other schlub that's with him at the bar, he's gonna pussy out. Okay." So they grab Mel Gibson, and it's like the worst flirting scene I've ever seen in my life. Because she goes, "I'm going to go flirt with him." And she literally just sits on the other side of the bar. And she orders a vodka straight, by the way, with ice and lime, which sounds like something I drink. And and she's just there, staring him dead in the face, just rubbing the edge of the glass with her finger. If this was any sound situation, this guy's a cop, so he supposedly knows people because he says, "Oh, we've been partners for 8 years with this guy." So he's been on the force for a while. He should know what a suspicious person sort of looks like. And this lady's clearly suspicious, but he goes, "I'm going to get my dick wet. I'm going to speak to this woman." And so he goes and speaks to her. And then the Reverend shows up from behind him. And I don't even know what that prop is. It looks like some sort of suction cup attached to like a dildo or something. And then he zaps him with an artificial lens flare made in Sony Vegas, because I know that because I've seen those before. And they send him. And they're in some sort of apartment, they're in a room all of a sudden. They're in a fucking room. And the lady goes, listen to us, very careful. Father, you explain. Wait, what? No. And the father goes, "Okay, this may seem unbelievable to you, but the people you saw that were killed in the alley, they were killed by vampires. And there are vampires here. We are from a different dimension, very similar to yours, except there are vampires everywhere. Yes, vampires are here, and they don't die from bullet, they don't die from weapon, they only die from stake to vital organ. Please, you have to help us."
Mind you about the bullet.
Don't. Fucking don't. They go, bullet no kill, bullet only stun, so does weapon. So you must only kill with stake to heart or vital organ. Oh, why can't you...
But you forgot the scene.
Which scene did I forget?
The Three Stooges doing in the meantime? I mean, the three vampires. What were they doing?
Oh no. Every time I come back to those three fuckers, all of a sudden they go to this woman, just in a house.
No, how did they find out about it? Because that's the funniest thing.
I couldn't even find out how they find out. They just go to this woman and they go, "We need to take your daughter." And she goes, "What? No, give us your daughter."
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the love handles, opens a fucking phone book, finds the counselor's name and address, and goes to the house.
How do they know about this? How do they know about this person? How do they know?
Exactly, because they opened the phone book and they found her in there listed because she's a public official. Through the fucking phone book, they found where she lives.
Speaking of public official, yeah. So she gives her daughter away, and a public official, and the police are not even concerned because she doesn't even call the police. She doesn't even file a missing persons report because the vampires go.
To be fair, what would you do? I mean, you was like, "Vampires took my daughter. Please help." They're like,
no, but she didn't know they were vampires. All they did was hiss at her and took her away. So she wasn't very sure. Because later on in the film, she doesn't even bat an eye because she goes, "What do you mean vampires? Vampire don't exist, no vampire."
Oh yeah.
So then we get the scene in the bar, and obviously they've stunned this guy. They've stunned Mel Gibson, and they say, "Hey, Mel Gibson, blink at us. Blink at us if you can hear us." And it's like the worst acted blink. I didn't even know you can act a blink badly. But he did. Also, this guy's character as well. He goes from a hard-ass detective to a schlubby asshole who's just there to make comedy. And then there's a third character that he plays that I can't even explain it. You just have to see it to believe it. He walks like an idiot. He does like the shoulder walk where he walks up. You know when fuck boys think they're cool when they walk up to chicks and they do like the little shoulder swaggy thing. That's how he walks. But then he can't act, so all his lines are delivered with a bit of anxiety, I should say. They go, what do you mean, vampires? No, vampires. Vampires don't exist. This is an actual line from the film, by the way. I'm not even making this up. And so, like, blink, and all of a sudden he starts twitching, and clearly, I'm pretty sure that somehow that's some sort of mistaken editing. But one of the nerd goes, "Oh no, he is coming too. The paralyzer that we used on him is wearing off. We must be quick." And then they go, "Your car keys are on the table there. You can fuck off, and we're gonna fuck off soon." Like, where did that take place? Where did that scene take place? Was it in a barn? No, they're in a fucking room. He sat on a couch. And all of a sudden they go, "Yeah, by the way, your car keys on the table. Fuck off. We're gonna fuck off." So you're like, where do you guys stay? Where do you have? Excuse me. I'll get to that as well. But where do you have steaks from? Because the father goes, "You killed the vampires with the stake by driving a stake through their heart or vital organ." The father uses like 20 stakes in this film. Yep. Where does he get stakes from, considering they were like, "We have to jump through the Stargate to save ourselves. Quick, grab as much as you can." And they literally leave with nothing. The nerd literally just has the weird computer that he uses all the time. And that's it. And all of a sudden, the father's pulling out fucking holy water out his ass and stakes out his ears. I was in stitches. I was laughing hysterically. I'm in the middle of work on my break, and people can hear me laughing from the office because it's just looks fucking ridiculous. And after this lovely scene in the nothing room that happened, we cut to just two, like a couple at some sort of lake. Okay. And obviously we've had our scene that does nothing, and now we've cut back to a scene where the vampires are going to do a thing. Okay.
Yep.
So we so we're at this lake, and this couple. You know, I kept trying to give this movie more credit. I'm like, are we gonna get a false scare at some point? You know, like, you know how a lot of horror movies they go, "Oh, what's this?" and then the cat jumps out the bushes or something like that. This only happens once, and it's this scene where the couple are in the lake, or next to this lake, and something retarded happens. And,
I just to explain the foreplay. I just want
the foreplay is her going, "Let's go skinny dip in the river," and the guy goes,
"No, it was like, let's go watch the fishes," but it's not. Let's go watch the fishes. See, there is a fish,
and she splashes water in his fucking face, and he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you!" And they're running around these park benches or whatever they are, or picnic tables or something, and all of a sudden he disappears into thin air like the fucking ninja that he is. And she goes, "This is not funny." And then we cut to like this horrible jump cut of him just jumping at the camera. And half the shots of this, by the way, don't cut in time. So they awkwardly linger for a couple of seconds. So we cut to him going, "Blah!" And he just lingers on camera for 2 seconds. And then we cut back to action.
Yeah.
And at this point, I felt assaulted. I felt very uncomfortable because this neck-bearded man jumped at me. And then he kind of stood there because the director forgot to yell, "Cut."
And
then we start getting the vampires show up out of nowhere. And they kill both of them. Yeah. And at this point, by the way, the previous scene where the father goes, "I will give you this button. You press the button, cop man, and you contact us, and we will come look at the vampires and kill them with our stakes." So next scene, the day after, the cops are there, the schlubby partner's there, Mel Gibson shows up, and they're looking at the bodies. Oh, all the blood's been drained out of these. Blah, 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 blah. And Mel Gibson goes, oh, this is very similar to what those guys that I don't know told me. They seem truthful. I'm going to call them and see how that works. So I'm going to phone these people up, and they're going to come down. And he goes up to his partner, and he goes, hey, I need you to clear this with the police chief. He goes, clear what? I'm going to call some people. What are these people? Just say that they're from the government. And somehow the police chief approves of this. So the three fuckers from the other dimension show up, and they're analyzing the bodies, and they go, yes, we must stake them before the vampirism spreads. And so the father leans over, and he gets a stake out, like a wood stake, and he gets like a craftsman's hammer out. Not even a he just gets the hammer that you use around the house to like put nails into like the wall or something. So this is funny. I laughed quite a bit at this. So he crouches over, says, "Oh Father, oh heaven." Then he puts the stake at this girl's chest, and he starts hammering at it. But it's so fake. He's clearly trying not to hurt her, but he's also trying. He's not even hammering. Like the stake's not moving down. He's just going. It's like a little kid pretending to play Bob the Builder. He's just going, hey, and everybody's going, oh, this is so gruesome. This is horrible. And then we get the shitty dissolve effects of the vampires. And Mel Gibson's still like, I don't believe this. This ain't true. And then the partner shows up and he goes, hey, what's going on here? He goes, we need to talk. Let's go for a walk. By the way, this is literally taken like next to two park benches, and they've all parked their cars next to the park benches, like a few meters away. So he goes, oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go for a walk. And so they walk 2 meters to the car, and they stop at the car. Like, why did you say let's go for a walk? Why did you just go to the fucking car and talk to her? So he goes, yeah, let's walk. And they go, okay, we can talk now. You've not gotten further away from the crime scene. You're literally right next to the fucking crime scene still. And of course, the partner's like, hey, I've been your partner for 8 years. You and I have known each other for so long. We're basically best friends. We're basically brothers. Oh, by the way, I'm probably not going to die, but vampires don't exist. This ain't true. He dies in the next scene.
So many tears. Many tears.
He dies, not the scene after, because then I think we get another scene of the vampires doing something. I forget now. But then the scene after, they're like, oh yeah, we got a call from, they're in this barn. Let's go to this barn. So they go to the barn. And of course speaking of this fucking barn, this scene, the nerd stays outside, doesn't he? He's outside next to the car, using a scanner to analyze if the vampires are coming. Although there's no way of signaling anybody because they're already inside. So they go to this barn, and like let's check around these planks, see if there's any vampires under the planks. And all of a sudden, vampires show up behind them, and they both come in from the outside. Okay, so the vampires come in from the outside. They kill the partner. Duh. I have a question, because then they kill the vampires, but they get information out of one of them using a cross for some reason and holy water. She's like, duh, duh, duh. It's like, because obviously the pure blood has transformed other people, so these are like their servants now, and it's like, again, they're even worse actors than the main ones. And so basically, these vampires came from outside, yes?
Yep.
How did the nerd get out unscathed?
By the power of fucking grace.
They have
because
walked.
he's the true hero.
They have walked past him.
Yeah.
And he's literally a schlubby nerd who is, as he himself says, not a fighter. So he's not a fighter, even though they've been fighting vampires for decades now, because that's how they survived in the alternate dimension. And
but he's the brain. Obviously, the muscle is the father, and the leader is the woman.
The father can't defend himself. He literally sees a vampire and he goes, eh. But then the next scene, he's like staking him through the fucking heart. And the lady from one scene is going, "Oh no, vampires!" And the next scene, he's just punching one of them. There's no consistency. I was so confused. I was genuinely I was upset.
But you opened the gate.
Oh, I have opened the gate. Don't worry about it.
And
I was still pissing myself at how fucking ridiculous this was. And so the scene ends. The partner's dead. What?
Tell me that you made your co-workers watch this movie with you.
I was in work today watching it on my break. And Nikki, one of the girls I work with, she's my manager basically, and she's getting she gets changed. I was in the office. She comes in, puts her jacket on, and she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" Literally, that's what she says. Do you know what bit I was watching? When the Queen was giving that rousing speech. Okay. So she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" I'm like, "I'm watching the film for tonight." She goes, "Well, she's like, for the podcast." I'm like, "Yeah." What?
The actress that plays Alyssa Liana Chamish or some shit, she's still making movies to this day.
Good.
And she was in one of my all-time favorite movies of all time, Two Front Teeth, and we're gonna watch it at some point. No, this was actually a good one. This is a really good one. Yeah, it's a really good one. It's a low budget made with love and actually really good. Had this but she was also in Ninjas vs Zombies, which is
which is a thing that we watched back at university. Yeah, I know.
No. We watched other things. We watched Zombie Strippers, which had porn actresses in, obviously. We watched which other shit movies did I make you watch though? I forgot.
A lot of Yui Ball films we watched.
Not really.
Anyway. So, the partner's dead now, and Jake, the Mel Gibson, he's very upset. But then he goes, "I'm going to kill these vampires if it's the last thing I do." And then we get the scene where the vampire lady's giving the rousing speech. No. Yes. So she's giving the rousing speech. And it's played off like she's giving it to a massive crowd, sort of like Independence Day or like Pacific Rim, that type of speech.
Yeah.
It's the worst speech I've ever heard in my life. It's horribly written. It's horribly acted.
Trust me.
They play it off as something epic. She's giving the speech to 5 people.
Obviously.
There's literally 5, and they're like, "Yeah."
Editing is difficult. You need help.
And then we get the scene afterwards, where they're getting ready to fight. They're going to a different location now because that's the information they got out of that vampire lady. Okay. And they find the pureblood. Love Handle shows up and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get you. I'm too powerful." And they shoot him a bunch and he goes, "No, guns don't kill me." They punch him and they go, "No." He goes, "No, punching doesn't hurt me." And they stab him with a stake and he goes, "No, stakes don't hurt me." And then some holy water falls on the stake. And he sort of jabs him in the leg and he goes, "Oh, this hurts me now." And he starts running away. But on his way out, he grabs the curly lady. And he's like, "You cannot win this battle. I will claim my prize." So he kills the curly lady by ripping her head off. But again, it's like the worst effects I've ever seen in my life. So it's clearly just her head and she's been keyed out. She's been masked out. Then we get her body falling on the ground. But it looks like it was a green screen that she fell against, because
obviously.
Hey, people.
She's dead now. That's all that matters. So then they go, "Oh, we must find the senator." They find the senator, and she's like, and she can't stop talking about her fucking daughter and how much she needs to find her daughter and how much her daughter means to her. And that's all I heard from her, and I felt like punching her half the time. And then we cut back to the vampires again. And they're fucking.
Obviously, we need
this scene came out of nowhere, and I kind of felt uncomfortable watching it because it just came out of nowhere. But I also pissed myself laughing because it's the most awkward sex scene I've ever seen in my life.
And you thought that Neil Bean had a sex scene?
It's literally the Queen going, "Oh, you have killed this woman from the other dimension." It means it is now time. And then they kiss for a bit. Then they kiss again. And then they start fucking. And then as they climax, they all get their vampire teeth all of a sudden. Did that scene lead to anything? Did anything happen?
Yeah.
No.
It's a plugged-in commercial for contraception.
No, nothing happened. All I got to see was the queen like flicking the bean, and I got to see the black lady's tits. That was quite literally what that scene was for, and I feel like they did it just for the sake of having tits in the film. Which I'm not complaining, but still. And then we cut back to Jake's apartment, or whatever the fuck they are, because maybe they're in the nowhere room again. Who the fuck knows? And he's watching TV, flicking through the channels, and then he stops at this weird documentary about the Titanic, and he gets inspired, and then he gets a bunch of holy water, and he gets some styrofoam, and we get to see this entire process of him molding a holy water steak. So it's like a frozen steak, like an icicle.
Yeah. Genius!
And then he goes to the father. He goes, "Father, you remember how the holy water hurt the vampires? Then we're going to use this. I made it out of holy water. There's a metal spike through the middle for stability." And you go, "You didn't need the metal spike for stability. Like, it's an icicle. They fall from like a meter, and they stab people through the heads."
But it took him so much to create the mold for.
Yeah, and he was there making molds and shit because he was like, "Oh, he gotta." It's like I'm watching how it's made on Discovery Channel. He's like, he gets a steak, he puts it against the styrofoam, he traces it with a marker.
Real MacGyver.
He cuts
He's
it
a real
off.
MacGyver.
Then he puts it in a foamy thing. Then he gets dry ice. Then he gets the dry ice. He mixes it with he puts the holy water in. Then he gets a metal spike through it. Then he goes to them, tells them, "Hey guys, by the way, I found this. I made this." And he goes, and the father goes, "Thanks, Jake. This is a good job you have done." Show some fucking emotion, for God's sake. What the And then Jay goes, "Let's go kill the vampires. You, Senator lady, you'll come with us too. Hey, nerd, you're going to fight." And the nerd goes, "I'm not a fighter. You're going to have to be a fighter." And then we cut to the morning after, and we get this scene where he shows up in like full army gear and a shotgun. It's the most ridiculous scene I've ever seen in my life. And they play it off so serious, and he just goes, "Let's go kick vampire butt." I'm like, oh, fuck off.
But is it really?
So then they go to the... Oh, also the amount of times he cocks that fucking shotgun, it does nothing with it. That gun's broken by now. With the amount of times he's fucking cocked it. There's a scene later on where they go up to this vampire to like stake her through the heart. Speaking of staking through the heart, sometimes they take ages to stake him through the heart. Other times they stab him straight away and they die. So I don't know how that works. Anyway, so they go to there's a scene later on where he cocks the gun to like keep an eye on her, while the father like stakes through the heart. So he cocks the gun, and the moment he cocks it, he puts it on the side and leans it against the wall.
Yep.
The fuck did you cock the gun for? Why?
No.
Why? And then we get some of the worst action I've ever seen, where they go into this, abandoned warehouse or something, and they fight the vampires. And for flashlights in this film do nothing, by the way, because everything's lit well, but they still use flashlights for whatever reason. And then they fight the vampires, and they get like a really shitty action scene at the end against love handles, because they managed to kill Tits and they managed to kill the queen. With the newly acquired new weapons. Somehow they have a magical amount of stakes, normal ones as well, because obviously they jumped through the portal with nothing, but they still came out with like 25 fucking stakes. So they kill them all. Then it turns out that the senator and the vampire, her daughter, were both vampires. And by the end, it's just the father, the Reverend, and Mel Gibson that are left. And so they kind of go into the room while those are hugging, going, "Yeah, we're vampires." Ha, 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 ha. And then they give each other a steak, and like a shitty rock song plays, and the movie ends because they killed the last vampires. Sorry, I spat my pop filter.
But did they?
This
did
movie,
they really?
Evo, this movie is shit. This movie is god awful, and I loved it. I would totally,
Obviously.
I would totally like get drunk or something and watch this film again, just for the sheer stupidity that goes through it. It is one of the dumbest, worst acted films. White balance. You can easily set white balance in your camera, and there's inconsistent white balance within the same scene, where it cuts to a different shot and it looks like it's a completely different location because the white balance is off. The lighting, inconsistent. Acting, non-existent. Porn has better acting than this. Action, if you can even call it that, shit. Visual effects, shit. Makeup, okay in places. Love handles, amazing, 10 out of 10. Man tits, a lot of man tits in this film. A lot of schlubby dudes thinking they look cool. Reverend's acting, 10 out of 10.
Oh yes.
Character
please.
consistency, 10 out of 10. The nerd
Best
saying nerdy
movie
things,
ever.
11 out of 10. Music,
Best-
it's literally the one tune going, doo-doo, 6 out of 10, because I've heard it before. This movie, I give it a 7. I give it a 7 out of 9 crucifixes. I hated it, but I loved it, and I would totally watch it again just for the sheer entertainment. I might get somebody to watch it with me, just so they can understand what I had to go through and how fucking horrible this movie is. And I hate it for it, but I love it for it as well because I had a really good time.
Do it.
It gave
Bitch
me
boy.
it gave me so much joy. It gave me so much joy. I was in stitches pretty much the whole time. I haven't laughed. I genuinely, honestly, have not laughed so purely in a long time. Like usually I watch film and I go, ha, ha, ha. No, this one was like, ho, 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 ho. It was so. It looked like it was almost like intentionally comedic, but it wasn't, and you can tell they were taking themselves so seriously. But it was just like, oh my goodness. This I'm sorry, I literally went on like a 20-minute tirade about this, but this movie is fucking horrible,
It's everything that was
and
ever
I
advertised to be.
loved every minute. It was the worst film, but it was also fucking great. Thank you, Evo. Thank you for giving me this, granting me this gift.
Oh.
So-
I'm waiting to be unraveled.
In that case, would you like me to give you a film for next week?
Yes, please.
This hinges on a question.
Yeah.
I have a question for you because I have 2 films lined up. One of them is a dredge to walk through, and it's a really big disappointment. That's why I think you'd enjoy it or appreciate it at least. The other one is of the quality of the one you gave me. So, have you ever seen Samurai Cop?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, we're not watching Samurai Cop then.
You know there is a sequel though.
I know. I haven't had the chance to see it. The movie I'll give you for next week in that case is called The Giver.
This sounds fun. The 2014 one?
Yep. It's the one with Jeff Bridges. It's the movie with Jeff Bridges where Jeff Bridges is not allowed to act.
Someone actually told him that he's not allowed to act.
Yeah.
Oh, it
This-
has Mario.
This is the movie where we have really good cast, and Meryl Streep is not allowed to do shit in this film. Neither is Jeff Bridges. Nobody does shit in this film.
It has Alexander Skarsgård
Yeah,
and
from from all the good actors, nobody does shit.
Yes, Taylor Swift.
So your film for next week, my friend, is called The Giver.
Oh Lord.
I remember
watch
seeing this on Netflix, going, "I'll watch it," and then I watched it and went, "Why did I just watch it?"
Yeah, it's with Netflix. You watch something, you're like, why did I just do that?
Why did I put myself through that?
why-
Yeah.
why
So
can't I have
yeah,
nice things?
The Giver is thine film for next week. Have you got anything else to say, or are we wrapping this sucker up for today?
Actually, there was a couple of things. First of all, you know that Anthem came out? Anthem. Yeah.
Anthem. Yeah, and it's shit.
And I mean, people. I have a friend who played it. Said it was okay,
Right.
but people are like this. They're review bombing the game.
Yep.
Like literally bombing the game. I know the game's not good. It's not amazing. It's fucking flawed and probably in early beta.
The demo was a big mess as well, and
Well, that's expected. I don't fault people for having a shitty demo, but he's just and the review bombing it, which is kind of bad because if Anthem flops, BioWare's gone.
yep,
BioWare's gone.
BioWare's dead.
Oh, it's
If
been
that
dead for
flops.
years now, but it's been dead for years, but now it's gonna get even deader.
Yeah,
Deaderer. Deadlier. Wait, well, no. There was also another thing that I want to talk about. Fuck if I remember.
I don't know. If you remember, give me a link and I'll leave it in the description.
Oh yeah, there is the new Ethan Hawke where he searches for Billy the Kid. And I'm not sure who's.
I think I know what you're talking about. I just saw it and went, oh, I don't care about this, so I didn't really include it in the.
I mean, it's by the D'Onofrio, I think. Let me double check this. It's called Just the Kid. Yeah, it's Vincent D'Onofrio is the one that the director.
How sad that every time I click just on my.
And Chris Pratt's in it.
Okay.
And Billy is being played by Dane DeHaan.
Okay.
And there's Adam Baldwin.
Yeah, give me a link for the trailer or something. I'll throw it in the docket.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I think that this movie will flop mainly because it's way past the time that such a movie should be done. I think that there were much better Billy the Kid movies. There's also Butch and the Sundance Kid. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I forgot that name. What? How can I forget that name? Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid,
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, how do you even follow up movies like this? It's just... No. It's not
just
worth
westerns.
it.
They're not really that big.
Yeah, no... Technically, Butch Cassidy the Sundance Kid is
Although the new Fantastic Magnificent Seven was pretty good.
It was okay.
I wouldn't say it was amazing, but it's a really fun film.
The problem is it suffers from this overabundance of minority casts and characters in it.
True.
Which kind of ruins it, but in a way it makes sense. But when you consider that the original Magnificent Seven is a remake of Samurai 7. Yeah, Seven Samurais. It's just like, it makes sense. They did a fine job.
Yeah.
It's just the remake. We didn't need it. We just didn't need it.
It's a lot of films you don't need, but we still get.
I mean, technically, all of Akira Kurosawa's movies were remade in American cinema and considered classic for some reason.
Yep.
Although I do like all of them, but because they're made well. And it's like, do you remember back in the day when we talked about the Apocalypse Now?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember what I told you about interpretations and remake?
Uh-huh.
Well, this is the way you actually correct. Because you take a concept that was made at a different time and you modernize it and you use it. Because Apocalypse Now is I forgot the name of the book. I've read it. I have it. Shit. Fuck, what was the name of the goddamn book?
Isn't it called Apocalypse Now, anyway?
No. In the Heart of Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Darkness. I forgot who wrote it, because apparently I'm an idiot. And in Heart of Darkness, it's about exploration of Africa. If I remember correctly, they move across the Nile. Mind you, I read this book like fucking 7 years ago. And when I rewatched the Apocalypse Now, it's just like it started after the first part of the movie, which is basically like an intermission for the actual movie to start. It's fucking amazing. Yeah. I'll give it that. And then I realized I was watching In the Heart of Darkness, and it just struck me down. I was like, so they took a concept that was made for the, like, let's say 15th century, and they just switched it and made it so that it works for the current era, which was 1981, maybe? I need to double check this.
Earlier than that, wasn't it?
About 1979, close enough. And it was like, and before that, think about it, Killer Kurosawa Seven Samurais came out in like the 20s.
Nah, let me see. What's it called again? Seven Samurai?
54.
It was the
54.
50s and 60s, most of his film, yeah.
Yeah, 54. Why do I always mix up this shit? I mean, it's a 3.5 hour movie, so no thank you about that, but I'm not gonna watch it again. And it was made for the period of time that was relevant to Japan. So when they remade it for the American cinema, they made it for the period that's relevant to America. Just switched everything, but kept the core concepts whole, which makes them
just made it a western and pretty much kept the same story.
Kinda. I mean, it kind of follows, but it doesn't follow because
it follows the main concept of somebody who is essentially a bit away from everyone, gets asked, "Oh, help us protect this village."
Well, I mean, yeah, but the dynamics have changed a bit, so it makes sense because samurais and cowboys are different in general, and they have different traits and different ideas. Considering the fact that samurais are fucking psychopaths, all of them,
every
like no joke.
Yep.
No joke. And it was like, I kept digging, going deeper and deeper
come on.
Inside the rabbit hole, and I found out that the Final Destination, that movie, it's actually a remake.
Is it?
Yep.
Did not know that.
I mean, it's not exactly a word for word remake of the movie, and I'm thinking about it. I can't remember the name because obviously I can't remember shit. But it borrows heavily in all the core concepts, because in the original movie it was again a woman survives a plane crash, and it's a low budget one. It's literally low budget, but it's really well made, and it warns that she shouldn't have survived that, and death will come knocking, and it kind of follows the same concept of it. But strangely enough, no one actually references this. Also, James Wong did this. So and I just hope that Aladdin and the other remakes that come out, I think there's gonna be like fucking 50 of them coming this year, will take this to heart.
Yeah, Disney's gonna be dominating the fucking box office this year.
I doubt it.
You kidding me? Most films are theirs. We're getting the end of the original Avengers from like 2000 and whatever.
No, I don't think they actually own Avengers. I think because they own Disney.
They own Marvel.
No, wait, sorry.
They own Star Wars. They own
DC. I know the DC are Disney movies. They are.
No, DC isn't. DC is part of Warner Brothers. I'm saying all Marvel films are part of Disney.
Oh God, this is fucking confusing.
Disney pretty much is gonna fucking wreck the box office this year and rake in all the big bucks. Because we're getting like 3 or 4 live action films as well, like remakes of originals, animated ones. We're getting all the Marvel films, which are I think just 2 this year. We're getting Star Wars. We're getting Star Wars shows. We're getting a shitload of things. They're all Disney. Every single fucking one of them is owned by Disney. Of all the ones I mentioned.
I mean, I don't know. I hope that things change.
Yeah.
And we get something different, because I don't fucking care about the Avengers. I've never been interested in these pieces of shit. It's just they always bore me somehow.
We shall see. Right, let's wrap it up, because I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, and it's like 9:30, and I need some food. Feed me. In any case, have you got anything else to say for podcast?
I can't remember. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out the name of the movie that the Final Destination.
Yeah, I looked it up, but I couldn't really find it. So,
I mean, it's not the same, but it's... Fuck.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, this has been episode 7. Look at that.
Whee!
Delayed by a day because work. Of the Voices from Behind podcast. Yeah. I have been thine host, and your host, and our host, Evo, and with me was my co-host, the other bearded Evo.
Yes.
I'm gonna play some music now. Thank you all for listening, and we will most definitely see you next week. Or hear you next week.
Yes.
Okay.
Where I'll be waiting with
You'll be
another good
waiting
movie.
with the giver. Fuck off. Alright.
Oh, I will give you some fucking buffalo next week.
Okay. Alright. Bye.